Hi, this is Andrew for Geek News Central, and this evening we're going to have a look at the TickTime. It's a digital timer, and you can kind of think of it as a modern version of an egg timer, but of course it does so much more than that. It uses, it's kind of kinetic in that you can turn it around to set the time. There's also buttons and things like that on it, so you can set the time that you want. It can count up, it can count down, all those kinds of things. So it really does kind of bring the egg timer, if you like, into the 21st century. So look, I'll get this unboxed and we'll give it a go and see how it actually works. Back soon. Right, so here's the TickTime. Let's get it out of the wrapping and out of the box and see what it's like inside. And the last one on the bottom, hopefully, that's it. Alright, so it looks like we've got some instructions here. A few bits and pieces, some tips. After receiving the battery, please charge it first. Okay, we'll do that in a minute. And we've got a wee charging cable, a USB-C, which I always like to see these days. And here's the little unit itself. Oh, this looks kind of neat. Oh, very nice. So I can kind of see a bit of a screen there. I've got these various numbers on the side. What I'm going to guess, and as I haven't really investigated it so far, is that if you put it down like that, you get 30 minutes worth of time, 25 minutes, 15, and so on. Obviously got the charging port there. Looks like there's a screen in there. Probably volume up, volume down, those kinds of things. Minutes and seconds. Buttons there and there. So I'm going to take the advice of it and charge it up before I turn it on. But it's not super heavy, but it doesn't. It's not plastic lightweight. There's a bit of heft to it. So look, I'm going to do what it says on the tin. I'm going to get this charged up and then come back. But so far, good impressions. I've been using the TickTime timer for a couple of weeks now, and it really is simplicity itself. The device has really 3 modes of operation, and I'm going to run through each of those just in sequence so you can see what they can do. The first one is a straightforward elapsed timer. If I just simply turn it upside down like this, it's going to count the seconds that it takes me to do something. Once I've finished doing the thing, I can simply turn it back up the other way, and sure enough, it'll show me that it took 11 seconds there. Now you can kind of see that the screen sometimes looks a bit washed out. I can assure you that this is more to do with the lighting and the colour gamut on my camera than anything else. There is in fact a complete ring of segments that goes around there, and right now you just really can't see them because of the colours. The screen's just turned off there as well, so that didn't help. Okay, so let's turn it back on again. Now this time what we want to do is, if you notice around here, there's a number of numbers, and this is the countdown timer based on the time that you want to select, and you do that just by simply placing it on the ground with the number the way up you want it. So let's just go for 3 minutes. Oops, let's just see if we can reset it. It's obviously picking that up just because I was rotating around, but if I bring it back down there now, you can see it's chosen the 3, and if I just simply rolls over there, it'll actually reset it. You can kind of just see it reset to 5. So look, let's set that to 3, and we're just going to let it count down. No, I'm not going to watch it, but I'm going to use this opportunity just really so that you can hear the beep beep at the end, and you can hear the sound of the alarm. You can actually adjust the volume of the alarm using the buttons whilst it's in this side mode. So if I press the button, you'll hear it, and you can hopefully hear that getting louder and quieter. There is a silent option. Whether that's a good thing or not depends on your point of view. Okay, so look, let's hold this and we'll just let it count down to 0. Right, so we're nearly at the end of the timer. You can see that the light on the top is flashing, and we're going to get the beep, beep, beep noises. Okay, and as you can see, just to to shut it off, it's just simply a case of putting it on its end. Now that was a countdown time for 3 minutes, and it was, as I say, selected from the number on the outside. But let's say you want to set your own timer, in which case you can just use this button to up the minutes and this button to up the seconds. So if I press these, I'll just turn it back on again. I'll just alter it so you can see it. So let's say you can see there's 1 minute, 2 minutes, and if I want to do the seconds, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and onwards. And again, once you're happy with that time, you just put it on the side, and you can kind of see that it counts down. Now, the fact that you have pushed in the buttons yourself or pushed in the numbers with the buttons yourself kind of overrides the 3 on the top. But if you do rotate it to the left or the right, it will actually kind of change it to the one that you wanted, so the 5. So you can kind of see it change there. So on the whole, put it down, don't touch. And really, that's broadly about it. It is very simple and straightforward to use. You've got your buttons just ready for the minutes, seconds, and as I say, if you press the buttons whilst they're on the side there, you can adjust the volume. You've got your USB charge port. I've been using this for weeks, and the battery's hardly gone down. You can actually see, I don't know if you're able to see it, but there is actually just a very slight. Can you see the battery indicator? There's a battery indicator up there at the top, and there's also, it's really, really hard to see on the camera, but it's there in real life. There's also a volume indicator just down there at the bottom. And as I said, there is a kind of chapter ring almost around the outside with the markers that go down as the clock. And you can see them there in the blue and the red. I don't know if I'll be able to. It's blue, yellow, red, and then it's kind of orange and red on this side. And the orange and the reds really just aren't getting picked up very well at all by the camera. You can kind of see the yellow a wee bit better there. But as I said, it's much better in real life. And that's really all there is to it. It's quite a neat little device. It does one thing, and it does it pretty well. Well, I think it's about time that we wrapped up this review of the TickTime version 2. I've discovered it's version 2 timer. If you've already watched the video, you'll realise that it really just does one thing, and that's measure time. And it can either count up or it can count down. And that's really about it. Though I have to admit, it does it with a reasonable amount of style. It's a pretty good looking gadget. Now, the great benefit of this is that it just does the one thing. There's no faffing around with your mobile phone. There's no distraction from your Facebook alerts. And if you're into either your cooking and you want to measure your eggs, then it's a pretty good solution. And also, if you want to make sure that everyone takes a fair time in Scrabble and doesn't take like 10 minutes for their turn, then it's also a pretty good solution. One thing that I didn't know before I reviewed this was that there's also a time management technique called the Pomodoro technique, which breaks up your activities into 25-minute slots with a 5 to 10 minute break afterwards. And for something like that, this would absolutely be perfect in that you're very much focused on just getting your activity done. And you, as I say, you're not distracted by alerts on your mobile phone or news items popping up on that. So from that point of view, I think it would be a really good solution. Price-wise, it is $38.99, though there is a 5% coupon currently on Amazon that'll bring the price down to about £37. If you do want to know more, there is a website, www.ticktime.com. I'll put that in at the bottom of the screen here in a minute. And it would also be useful if you're an American, you're thinking of purchasing, as it has a shop based in dollars. The Amazon site is really priced in pounds for people in the UK. So overall, I think it's very much a niche gadget. This isn't going to be for everyone, but if you're very much into measuring your time for either gaming or for the Pomodoro technique, then it's a fairly straightforward buy. Perhaps a little pricey, but that's the way things are, I think, these days. So let's wrap that up. I think this is Andrew for Geek News Central and the TickTime version 2 timer. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks very much.